Welcome everyone to this daily Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for Thursday, December 1st, 2016. I'm Athen, and this channel is about using the actual constellations in the sky known as Sidereal Astrology. If you are new, be sure to check out the link down below because the signs are different. All right, so we are still in the new moon phase. We had a new moon in Scorpio, so things very much about the deeper dimensions of life. I think with the sun still in Scorpio, great to be focusing on most essentially personal transformation. You know, everything does start from within. And I think having that extra attention on the deeper aspects of self, the quote unquote lower aspects of self, or the lower aspects of the human experience. Or another way of looking at it is the entire range of the human experience. But it's deeper. It's a lot of the stuff that over the years or months or whatever we've brushed under the rug. And so now it's time to bring that conscious light onto them, to accept them, whether they're fears, inhibitions, wounds, whatever it might be. And as a result, very healing, very deep. And that can lead to intimacy with life, intimacy with relationships, and just all in all connecting on a deeper level. So that's the sun. Now the moon is shifting into Sagittarius, making this actually a more expansive day. The moon was in Scorpio and Ophiuchus the past few days. So that was really emphasizing that Scorpio type of energy. But now the moon goes into a much more free-spirited part of the chart. So I think collectively we could be perhaps adventurous, maybe wanting to expand our horizons a bit, maybe a bit spirited. And this is going to be especially confirmed by the fact that Mars is trining up to Jupiter here today going into tomorrow. So very nice aspect here. This is where we could be feeling inspired to take some action, to maybe initiate some things, get some goals moving, maybe some potentials. You know, Jupiter's been showing us that, yes, there are possibilities and potentials, but they do take work. They do take working on the details of things, which is what Virgo's all about. But with Mars in Capricorn, I think we're willing to do that. You know, I think we're willing to take the slow and steady approach, at least in one angle of this. I think this is a very good angle of looking at it. You know, this particular aspect, which is that if you are feeling inspired, if you are feeling motivated, use it. Use this. This is a great aspect to have for getting things done, for pursuing our personal needs, and I think just all in all pursuing any inspirations that we might have. So very nice aspect. That's going to be going into tomorrow. It is a shifting day. You know, the first half of the week was much more challenging. We had the square from Neptune yesterday, which we will be feeling somewhat today. And so here, I think waning though, if there still is a bit of uncertainty or a bit of clash with wanting things to be figured out, not knowing where things are going in our life, and maybe some unhealthy patterns of lethargy or not taking enough initiation and action, all of that is dissipating more and more as the day unfolds. But it's good to be constructive with it. In other words, to work with this with presence, with acceptance, because that's really when we liberate ourselves. That's really how to work with this square, is to accept things for how they are, to live in the present moment as best as we can. And as a result, that's just more constructive energy to what is this pivotal day of things now moving into what I think is going to be an easier, collectively easier second half of the week. All right, so another note regarding shifts is that Chiron is going station direct. So I think there's this willingness to face some wounds here shifting. It does take time for Chiron to gain momentum, but there is this direction shift about, I think now, more willingness to do some of the healing, to do some of that inner acceptance, right? Chiron's very much associated with that Ophiuchus energy. All that's starting to move forward, so there could even be going into the rest of the week a bit of rejuvenation, a bit of freshness, and I think it's coming from that willingness to heal. All right, so the day in a nutshell, the way I would see this is, yes, definitely a pivotal day. Things are shifting. The moon is in Sagittarius, which would have gone over that galactic center last night or the previous day. And so things are much more open-minded. In fact, Mercury is going into Sagittarius, so I think we are open-minded. I think as these few weeks unfold, I think Mercury is going to actually go retrograde through here, so it'll be some time. But as these coming weeks unfold, this greater open-mindedness and thinking in terms of what's possible, what's the potentials, and maybe communicating that could be good for philosophy, astrology, spirituality, and all in all just bringing maybe a bit of adventure in our daily routine. All right, so that's the free-spirited energy of Sag, but then it's also confirmed by Mars trining up to Jupiter, suggesting that today can be motivating, or there's just an opening for this collectively, or inspiring. So use it. You know, when things are easy like this, it's best to utilize a bit of that support instead of resting on our laurels, right? And it is still, though, you know, somewhat in the pivotal shifting time, because the sun will still be squaring up to Neptune for the most part, which is again about acceptance and trust and being present, but that can be very constructive as a result. And then yes, healing, shifting, things moving forward with that. And I think all in all, a greater willingness to accept things, because Chiron is in Pisces, all right, and that's what we're healing. All right, anything that's preventing us from accepting, from being present, but that can be very rejuvenating today. All right, so I hope you guys have an awesome day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.